Hello and welcome back to my Ottoman Empire Let's Play. Right now we have moved our troops over here uh, in the possibility that we'll be able to take over Western Thrace. And we are also abolishing the Masel Code in order to get some more political power back up. Oh, we got our volunteer forces back, that's good. We also want to get some research speed as quickly as we can. Serbia declares war on Bulgaria, so maybe we'll be able to demand it now. Demand Western Thrace. Alright, cool. 14 days. We are moving. I wonder if I want a full-on war with these guys, or if I'd rather them just give up the land. Not really sure at all what I would rather have. We have anti-partisan now. Proclamation of the Ottoman Civil Code. Placing the Sharia-based Masel, which has been... Oh, we probably should pause that. Which has been the Ottoman era during the second half of the 19th century. The new Ottoman Civil Code included some essential differences concerning both the status of women and the influence of religion within the Ottoman society, which has already caused significant discontent in the more conservative areas of the empire. Following the rising feminist movement and following the policies concerning coeducation during the 20s, the new Civil Code now officially recognizes man and woman as equals, man's polygamy makes legal marriage compulsory, and implements a wide variety of acts concerning personal freedom. A grand day for the empire. Spanish Civil War. Savoy Crisis. Alright, we can complete the copper lines. What can we do? We probably want to get 200 political power as soon as we can. Let's get the research speed first. And then we're going to go over and... Man Who Saves the Empire. The long-awaited sequel to the Red West. Ottoman cinemas put up with the new brainchild of Turkish movie industry set in the distant future. In the year 2039, the planet is under Egyptian control and Turks everywhere being oppressed by this totalitarian regime. With a combat pilot from 1939 and a spacewalker from 2039 team up to save the planet from its tyrants using special planes capable of flying outside the atmosphere, although the story has once more been criticized for being overly complex and completely ridiculous. Movies performing well at the box office. Citizens lighting up the major cinemas in Constantinople, Izmir, Beirut, and Baghdad. A slender campaign in the conservative papers furthermore boasted a popular movie and got them unused, though a confrontation occurred in the front of Ali once in the capital. A beautiful day of Turkish ingenuity. There's question of Thrace. We'll make the demand. Bulgaria refuses. Well, so be it. Air superiority. Close air support, and that's probably all we're going to get. And we'll go ahead and have you guys attack from the start. Surely. Right, stop. Poland falls to cynicalism. Construction. Improved machine tools. Go ahead and have you up there. Serbia, Greece, and Romania. Right, there we go. Fall of Washington. Oh, these divisions left. Yeah, one of you stick there. And that'll be a good cutoff if we can get it. Expand that. Confiscate party holdings would stability. Yeah, we could lose a lot of stability over this, but let's crack down on the Arab parties. Although their printing presses in Beirut and the radio broadcast from Cairo, a whole slew of Arab movements have popped up throughout the greater Syria, fighting against the modernization of the empire and trying to persuade people that the Arab nation is beneficial to their lives. It is the duty of a decent government to spare the people these delusions. There we go. And that tank is... Wait, did they... Okay, they did not take my plane. That is good. Hold. Okay, wait a minute. We got them cut off up here. Alright, we do have the next level gun done. That's good for now. Get some more resource excavation. Logistics, we're fine on guns for now, I guess. Construction. We'll keep building sibs for now. Here, we'll bring you guys up here just to help out. Alright, cavalry. Still beating Albania and Serbia. Cool. Crackdown on the Arab parties. Status of the autonomous regions. Let's get worse support up while we can. Anything? Stick the Arab national parties. Just gives us more autocracy. We don't really need that. We have occupied 3, so let's make an offer. Let's end this. There we go. And we'll set you guys up like this. And there we go. Oh yeah, these guys. With the Madonna of the martial Arabs who inhabit the marshes near the city of Basra have been long been a thorn inside of our central authority in the region. This as their martial home has been all but terra incognita for the Ottoman administration. Fourth who ventured into lands never return. Wajan who cooperate with outside authorities often find themselves severely punished by their local leaders in retaliation. The hospitable nature of their marches up to now mostly ensured their autonomy. A political apathy towards the Ottoman regime has kept them off the radar. Recent Syrian damming and settlement projects have made in the effort to develop new agricultural land and to flush out the Shiite resistance fighting the Syrian settlers have forced them to make a more active stance. Now the martial Arabs are not only sheltering fugitives from the Syrian operatives, but also from the Baghdadi Wali. The latter, anchored by developments, have requested reinforcements possible to bring them in line and put a Saxon inscription on the Ottoman Empire. Leave them be. Accept this request. It'll be worth it for the integration. Alright, do I want to go early mode? I really don't, but I will. We are moving in the right direction for integration, and the more we integrate, the better this will be. So, after we do status of the autonomous regions, we want to reform the system. We'll lose stability, but we'll gain political power gain. That stability can be remade up, I think, somewhere. Let's see, is there anything up here we can do for the time being to get? No. Okay, kind of weird. So are these guys? It's looking like Kurdistan. There's like not even really anyone who hates us, I don't think. Let's down there. That's the autonomous regions. Let's reform the millet system. The millet system was a creation to ensure the Ottoman citizens who did not practice Islamic faith could govern themselves, and as such, limit certain conflicts. This has been over the years, however, led to non-Muslim citizens almost completely detached themselves from the empire, and they have encouraged disaster that followed in the Balkans. With new civil code, surely this system is no longer necessary. The millet system in 1937. The millet system was founded according to the national legend in the 15th century under Sultan Mahmud the Conqueror. The ideas behind it was that Muslim citizens were governed by Islamic law, so the Christian and other religious minorities be governed according to the laws of their own faith. Unclear whether or not the system was actually in use before the 19th century when Sultan Mahmud began to split his non-Muslim subjects into three distinct millets: Greek, Orthodox, Armenian, and Jewish. Owing international pressure, the empire was forced to cede more power to these bodies after Islamic reforms of the late 19th century, as various great powers saw it as their own sworn duty to protect the various minorities groups of the empire. The millet system allowed for a plethora of special powers, such as the collection of tax and the creation of new laws for the community. The citizens of these groups became less Ottoman by the day, and the Europeans started influencing their day-to-day life more and more, effectively attempting to rip them away from our empire. Pressured by the outside world, we had no choice but to watch as the power of Constantinople over the millets were reduced to practical nil. Efforts by the Young Turks to fight back against the system and to abolish the dreaded capitulation, which allowed European subjects in the empire to be governed according to European law, were only partially successful, as none of the powers were willing to give up its vast influence within our empire. The end of the Weltkrieg, however, brought a glimmer of hope for the reformers of the empire, as with the blood of hundreds of thousands of Turkish sons, the dreaded capitulations were finally abolished, and such ushering a new era reform for the eternal state. The millet system has survived regardless of the inside politics and the Ottoman Parliament. Means of coalitions to check the Christian and Jewish vote are thus withered any attempt at reform. Alright, cool. Now there's a bunch of stuff we can do. This will hurt. Abolish. Okay, we'll lose stability, but it'll be worth it, I think. Political power plus integration, that's good. What else has become available? Yeah, we're really far away. Combat, huh. It's fine. This should help eventually. Okay, dispersed industry. Fuel. Whoa, let's not work on fuel storage. Let's work on probably Grand Battle Plan. Battle Plan. We're probably going to be fighting really defensive wars based off of our infantry. This is a really big mess. We didn't join the right protests in Baghdad fighting against what they call Turkish imperialism and deliberate destruction of Azerbaijani students and small business owners have taken to the streets today in Baghdad, calling for more local power and a greater input in the affairs of Iraqi villages. Entered by the Ottoman remains, and after an official answer to their complaints were read out in the mosque of the city, it seems that their protests have calmed down once more, but the sharp increase in these events is frightening Ottoman officials in the region. Unfortunate. Still gridlock in Britain. I don't want to do it when there's other stuff I could potentially spend my political power on. Right, we're gonna okay, no, mill up system, and we're gonna go down here. Unrest in Thrace. During the dark years of the empire, when its borders were under assault from all sides, massive population displacement occurred in the Balkans as one day upon hundreds of thousands of Muslims found themselves in a nation overtly hostile to their existence. Endless caravans of refugees were forced to leave the former Ottoman territories after accumulating defeats and tried to find new home on the edges of the capital. The Ottoman government tried to resettle them across Anatolia. Many of these people forced out of their homes in a war they often played no part in, seen in the recent reconquest of Bulgarian territories to finally return home, and are finally encouraged to do so by Constantinople, who desires to deport as many Bulgarians out of their territory as possible to make room for these people. The government has confiscated vast swaths of land from Bulgarian landowners among its citizens. Not surprisingly, the Bulgarian people living in these lands are opposing the government wherever they can, as skirmishes between Muslim Turks and Bulgars are daily occurrences throughout the region. To answer the growing crisis and restore public order to these regions of the empire, the army has requested a mandate to restore order by force if necessary. Foreign response has been openly negative to the deportation, and some more cautious members of the government quitting us to down on the scale of the operation to avoid creating a scene for the European intervention. Not unlike those seen in the 19th century. Let's not do anything drastic. Send in the army. We'll take a loss in popularity for a bit. It's fine. The Kashgar Conference, a small conference of Islamic nations, was put by the new government of Eastern Turkestan. Though we have no official diplomatic delegation, a number of intellectuals attended the event. While the conference went smoothly at first, it quickly became the focal point of a coup. Intellectuals were subject to a gruesome bloodbath and have returned home with a great apprehension of the new regime and haunt despite calls for Islamic unity. God is truly the greatest planner. Okay. These are way ahead of time. Engineering. Time. Well, yeah, wait, before I don't think those were way ahead of time. I think they're the same amount ahead of time, wasn't it? Yes, it was. It's fine. I'm willing to pay for extra research speed. Okay, Bulgaria has been overthrown. Abolition of the millet system. In part of the capitulation in 1914, the education reform abolishing the minority college, which is earlier, while this legislation, their power have already been severely reduced. With Russian, British, and French destruction after the end of the Weltkrieg, an end has also come to their meddling in the affairs of the millet, who, without a powerful patron, have seen their power greatly reduced as the sole trading power in the Ottoman Empire. Where special taxes remained, and with the growing Muslim orgies, discrimination against non-Muslim millets have seen a steady growth of the last few years, which the government now wishes to answer. Working together with various authorities within these structures, an agreement was reached to abolish the old system in return for complete equality for all offices in the Ottoman Empire under a secular protective mantle. Stability goes up, but unrest increases. It's not what I wanted. Right. Don't know which one I would rather do here. But for now, that's not the important thing. We're ruling in the Anatolian villages. We now shall see the entirety of Anatolia as one unit, but this cannot be less true as a variety of people ranging from Bosnians to Kurdish inhabitants its highlands. Furthermore, there is a divide between those living on the coast and those in the interior, often been left behind in favor of the more prosperous region. Uniting these people under the new modern interpretation of Ottoman is thus our task. Alright, we are gaining a decent amount of political power now. I'd say 0.5% per day when we're also taking focuses isn't too bad. Let's see. Stability plus implementing a Turk program. Okay, government overthrown, we already knew that. To expand this, we need reform the Ottoman language. quite sorry. Yeah, us going in between the military government and the OHF is not very good. Uh, French ambassador lodges complaint, seeing themselves as defenders of the Maronite Christian population that Mount Lebanon and Catholics of the empire. The French government in Algeria protests against the abolition of the millet system, claiming that it is a direct attack on the interests of all Christians around. Many French industrialists still in Lebanon fear this move is exclusively targeting them as fear that their interests in Mount Lebanon may be compromised unless the French government intervenes. There's no position to challenge us. We might end up. I think we're probably going to emergency. I think because once we pick one, we're going to have to get one over 50% because it would be a good idea to pull this up, even though it will increase it. It disables local recruit. Yes, it gets us 2% recruitable population, which we might need. But it's fine. It's not a priority right now. Let's get. I want to get, from now on, no more spending political power until we construct the Tripoli Benghazi Railway. Massacre at Alcorn. At the site of the now famous battle of Alcorn during the initial phase of the Mesopotamian campaign of the Wall Creed, the opponent city of El Qurna became into a large community of Assyrian refugees and started fighting the war. Relations between the Assyrian settlers and the local predominantly Madon Arab population has never been warm. Tensions declared earlier this week as thirsty Assyrian settlers were massacred in a raid on their quarter with the destruction of 50 more homes. The Assyrian local government has already declared action a deed of extreme barbarity, and in addition to demanding support from the Ottoman army to push the Madon further into their marshes, from its own local militia forces, the Assyrian levies who have controlled largely assumed peacekeeping policing during the British controlled region inside. Send a detachment, order the Assyrian levies to stand down. We're technically spending political power, but we will send a detachment to help them. Okay, expand the program. Oh, we got this automatically, which is nice. Oh, we'll take the extra split. Grasping back at our past for the CUP, politics have become something not solely decided by Privy Council, but by a true mass movement. While these means we can no longer have pay lip service from a few select upper-class notables, we still need to adapt our program to the needs support base. If one doesn't exist, create one ourselves through carefully placed notables. Okay, let's finish that day, and let's see anything else pop up that we can potentially do that doesn't cost us political power. I guess not. Everything's fine though. Everything is going to be okay. This base gains stability and potentially employ a Turk program is going to be the so Netherlands is fine and not part of a faction, but the Dutch East Indies. Oh. Okay. Who's justifying a war against us? Republic of Iran. Besides the murder of Assyrians and destruction of their property, this Assyrian local government sent out an Assyrian levies to exact revenge on Madon, burning down multiple villages and driving the martial Arabs further into the swamps and marshes of southern Mesopotamia. Their actions following a clear intent to forcibly dislocate the native population in order to acquire more fertile land. William Basari have requested confrontation from the government to suspend the Assyrian levies and fears that further action could lead to a massacre rivaling the Lebanese Civil War, which took place only a few decades ago. However, this sees and challenges an opportunity to weaken the autonomy of the Assyrians and hasten their full integration into the new Ottoman society. Disband the levies. We'll disband the levies. Alright, this is no longer needed. How strong are you? Strong enough, I don't think. Iran. I hope you end up regretting this. Right. Shem Iqtasai pleads for the preservation of Assyrian levies. The Patriarch of Babylon, de facto leader of the Assyrian community, was given permission to maintain the Assyrian levies. Without them, he says, the people are left to the mercy of Muslim Germanic force and have no way to prevent the martial arts from murdering them. Nonsense. We protect them. Leave them be. Nonsense. We will protect them. Political power is. The Assyrian government refuses demands. Continuing to maintain the levies are the only thing between life and death for the Assyrian people. Rob Khalidon has rescinded the order from the Wali Bar and mobilized his forces backed by the Church to the east. This is clear beside the Thomas region within the empire has demanded immediate withdrawal of Wali's forces from the region. Self-government for the Assyrian people, a right to collect taxes, and immediately further protection of the Assyrian Church. Shiite discontent. The Wali Bar in response mobilized the city's German to disband the levies by forcing the Assyrian. He finds himself suddenly outgunned and outnumbered within the city. Constantinople, the Grand Vizier's raised his betrayal and demanded all Muslim forces mobilized to put down the Assyrian structure, and the foreign intervention can get too far. Syria declares its independence. Okay, you guys get over there where it's safe. Right, guys, get over there quickly. We should be fine. We should be able to clash in the... Tension between Constantinople and Tehran reached a new high this weekend as Persian customs detained Dubai flagged on its travel to the island of Greater Sun, sparking immediate outrage with the entire population of the Turkle coast. In a rare display of unity for the region, a squadron of the Ottoman fleet was dispatched into the region and anchored just before the coast of the Persian city of Langa. Being explained to the Persian government to immediately release the passengers who were traveling under the protection of Sultan Khalif. Escalating immediately brought forth a salvo from the Ottoman fleet, after which white was on the shore. Safe package the Ottoman subjects of Persian coast has thus been reassured by force. Many are seeing the announcement of nearing confrontation between the two former enemies. With unrest rising in Palestine, the friction of the Kurdish frontier, it may seem that the confrontation is coming sooner rather than later. Continuation of their age-old policy of meddling in the business of other nations, the British ambassadors called on the Ottoman government to discuss a peaceful resolution to the Syrian debacle. Building a semi-independent state within the Ottoman Empire, they asked for the Assyrians to be ruled by their own parliament, train and operate their own security forces and manage policy within the Brazil, remaining for all other affairs a province of the Ottoman Empire. No. Alright. Now... See, yeah, we definitely would have lost those troops if we would have just... OHF membership reward program. Authority over the Kurds. Survived in the tribes and the community, Shiites and Khazars still dictate the order of the day in Kurdistan. For over a century, the Ottoman reform movement has been trying to rid themselves of the influence and bring Kurdish people under control of Constantinople. Be it peaceful or through these efforts, we'll succeed in the end. Right, this is what we really want. Right, come on. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Yes! There, now we finish them off. We were technically attacking over a river there, but it is fine. At least some of you have infantry expert. Let's go. I think we're good. I don't think we want to give you anything yet. See, we are running out of time for this episode. Is there anything here? Totalist in the commune. Weekly stability. A lot of integration. Assyria has capitulated, though. We will take that state. Nice. Surprisingly, the Syrian revolt has been crushed by our vast superior army. Patriarchal President has ordered his government to lay down their weapons. Seriously, he was spotted embarking on an embarked Indian vessel bound for Delhi just before the fall of Basara. With this action, regular resistance remained in southern Iraq, and the Ottoman might once again victorious. Alright. Right now, we'll take you guys. And go here and there. Get you guys ready just in case there is a war. The Assyrian revolt. Yeah, that'll go away because we're at peace. Anything here? Regulate the Shiite pilgrim. They're going to be mad at us. That's fine. What's Argentinian free territory? Oh, that's a Senate victory. Alright. Well, with that, we have defeated our first, and probably not our last revolt. But let's see, any events pop up? No, we're good. But with that, we have ran out of time for this episode. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one.